You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey Days fans, we have got a comings and goings update for you about Eric Brady, who's back to Salem the first week of September. But what does that mean for the fate of Nicole Walker and their son, Jude Brady? It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's dive right into this casting news update for the NBC Peacock soap opera. So it's been about a month since Greg Vaughan exited Days of Our Lives alongside Arianne Zucker. And he said at the time it was not his choice to leave the role, but he also kind of made it sound at the time like Eric Brady was gone for good. I mean, we knew better because he was still around filming for the Bill Hayes tribute to Funeral and Doug Williams and all that airs in December. So the question is, now that we know he's coming back, how long is Eric Brady going to stay in Salem? Will he leave again to reunite with Nicole and then come back for the funeral? Or is, he back for quite a while and we're going to find out something's happened with Nicole? So the day's casting scoop is Eric Brady is back to Salem for his stepbrother, Brady Black. This week, Jada Hunter slaps cuffs on Brady after he confesses to running over Sarah Horton in that hit and run accident. And of course, Fiona Cook is the real culprit, but nobody knows that but her. Brady has taken a very hard fall off the wagon ever since the whole Teresa incident, and it's not pretty, but we all know he did not run down Sarah. And Eric Brady was in love with Sarah at one point. They even made a baby, little girl Mickey, who died from a car crash that killed Adrian Kiriakis. Of course, she was driving Sarah to the hospital that night because she was in labor. So Eric cannot be pleased to hear that Sarah was hit in another drunk driving accident. If you remember that, when Maggie was set up to look like she had been drinking and driving, but it was her awful and now dead other daughter. I wonder if Brady is going to come clean to Jada and confess to being blackout drunk and not remembering the crash. If he consults with Justin first, he'll tell him, don't admit more than you have to. And I do also wonder if Brady would tell Jada that his car's missing because his insane baby mama, Kristen DiMera, got rid of it so he wouldn't be arrested. She thought it'd be bad for Rachel to lose her dad. I don't think that Brady is going to throw Kristen under the bus because he doesn't want Rachel to have no parents around. Of course, we all know Eric's got a soft heart, and I think even if Brady doesn't confess to boozing, I'm betting his stepbrother Eric figures it out pretty quick. He's got his own past with alcohol, but I also wonder what updates Eric is going to bring about Nicole and little baby Jude Brady. Remember, they left Salem to move to Paris for his new job. Like I said, around a month ago. And that was Days of Our Lives storyline excuse to write Ari Zucker's character, Nicole Walker, off the soap because she was raising a fuss about alleged backstage harassment at Days. And then she filed a lawsuit against Ken Corday, the production company, Sony, over actions alleged by Albert Alar. It was all laid out in her lawsuit about all kinds of horrible stuff backstage. We know Nicole's not going to be back, but it's kind of hard to imagine how they're going to handle Eric with her gone for good. Maybe Brady's arrest brings him back to town and we'll hear Nicole and Jude are fine and back in Paris. Typical. But my leaker said, and of course this is not official, but they got a pretty good accuracy rating, Eric Brady is going to stay in Salem for a couple of months. And that's a long time to be away from his woman and his baby. So we do know that Greg Vaughan taped scenes in, I think, around April or so that are airing in December for Doug Williams' funeral. There's a ton of other big returns for that. And then, Eric Brady might leave for good, a casualty of the writing out of Ari Zucker's character. So I will let you know when I get more info if Eric stays all the way through December or if he leaves after a couple of months and then turns around and comes back just for the funeral. More on that soon. We do have some more Days, Comings, and Goings news. This week, you have seen Jonah Robinson back as Dr. Mark Greene, and he's running a con with fake Abby to get revenge on Chad DiMera for reasons yet to be revealed. We've also got scenes this week with Mark's younger sister, Felicity Greene. So Kennedy Garcia is back on our TVs. I wonder if we're going to see her with fake Abby and find out if Felicity knows her too. That would be kind of interesting. I do expect lots more of Jonah as Dr. Mark when we find out why he's got this thirst to destroy Chad. Looking back at history, it's kind of hard to decide if they've used something from Chad DiMera's actual past or Abigail's actual past, or if this is some brand new history that Ron Carlivati invented to justify what's going on. That's called a retcon, if you don't know. So basically a retroactive rewrite of history to justify things you want to do now that don't align with known history. So all I know is a lot of fans are really ticked off that they're being strung along with this Abby thing, only to find out AnnaLynne McCord is not Abby at all. The empty grave gives a little bit of hope, as does Dr. Mark being her co-conspirator. Maybe he somehow saved the real Abby and she's stashed somewhere. If so, fans might forgive this wild goose chase if it ends in a real Abby resurrection. If not, it's probably going to get ugly. So we've also got Carrie Christopher back as Thomas DiMera this week. Chad is not sure he's ready to tell Thomas or Charlotte that their mom Abby is back from the dead. Kristen has been drilling doubts into Chad's head, and then when he quizzed fake Abby about what she was wearing the night she was murdered, she freaked out and threatened to leave town. So Chad's starting to be a little more cautious and watchful of this allegedly resurrected Abby. We will also likely see more of Remington Hoffman as Lee Shen, not just his cardboard cutout version, as Connie still has Melinda tied up to the bed in the little apartment where she murdered Lee Shen. Other days casting news, Kyle Lowder is back briefly as Rex Brady. Around the same time, Allison Sweeney is briefly back. That's spring 2025. She's coming back as Sammy Brady, his sister. And we may also be getting another glimpse of Philip Kiriakis back to talk to his newly revealed brother, Xander Cook. Kiriakis maybe to fight over an inheritance, you know? I am hoping, but I have no confirmation, to see the last of crazy Connie soon. I mean, good for Julie Dove turning herself from soap fan into soap actress. But I feel like Connie's had her run and she can take her cardboard cutout of Lee all the way to Statesville or Bayview, wherever she goes, or they can bury it with her if they kill her. I'd be fine if Ava took her out. We are also, by the way, getting Patrika Darbo back soon as Nancy Wesley, and there's supposed to be a recast of Joy Wesley coming back with Nancy. Joy has not been seen since she was a baby. If you don't remember, Nancy and Craig only had Joy as a donor baby to save Chloe Lane's life. That is it. The hugest news, of course, Greg Vaughan back as Eric Brady. If my leaker's right, 2 months of him, we will see. And of course, we'll bring you more Days of Our Lives casting news and spoilers soon. Please subscribe if you're not already following us. Drop your comments. Are you excited to see Eric back? Is he going to come in with gloom and doom news about Nicole and Jude? Or is he going to come back with Jude? Or, you know, is this just more bait and switchery from Ron Carlivati? We'll see. Come back soon. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt talking Days of Our Lives with you guys 7 days a week.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.